Okay, we got a lot of responses to our...
We're close to 100 responses today.
Which is pretty amazing. You know, what a community. Lots of experience, lots of knowledge. We really appreciate it because it's enlightened us a great deal.
I've looked up so many websites today and so many other YouTubers that were suggested to us. Looked up so many different types of heaters. And we've made some pretty good decisions, I think.
Yeah, you know, we have some short-term and some long...
We've got a little fire behind us. So, you know what? Somebody wanted to see this.
Oh, okay.
So, let me do this. Okay. So this is our insert. You wanted to see a closer close-up of the insert. It's an, whoops. It's an Ashley. I could put you in the fire if you'd like. We're letting it go out for the night. The Osage wood has been amazing, and that's what that wood was. But this is our insert. It does have fans. One of them does not work, but heat pours out here, getting blown.
I've removed the fan, and it just doesn't spin. I hear it humming, so I need to do some cleanup and whatnot of it, see if I can get it running again, but we'll have it.
So we lived in Germany. What?
Well, what I was saying was we've got some short-term solutions.
Yes.
And then we have some longer-term solutions that we are going to work toward.
Right. So the short-term solutions are...
Keep warm.
It was 10 degrees warmer this morning when we got up. It's amazing how warm 20 degrees is compared to 10. Yeah. We put the hotter wood in.
Well, as much as we have. I mean, that's the challenge. And we're going to be... We have some down timber that we're going to be cutting up. It's been down for a while, so it's, other than sitting out in the weather, it's dried. I don't know how much of it's really good hardwood. That's the challenge.
We'll see.
A lot of what we have here
we
tends
need
to be
oak
softer.
and osage.
I shouldn't say a lot of what we have. Much of what's been in our pile of wood that we have,
and that's an old
has
pile.
been soft.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but what we're finding is some of the woods that are here. I mean, we've got multiple walnut trees here. We've got some oaks, and then we've got this osage. I knew nothing about osage, and
I did, but I didn't know it was a tree. I had looked into making a living hedge with it before, but they said the big balls that cows could eat it, and it could kill them or suffocate them. So I thought, okay, I'll never do that.
We've got it,
but
though.
We've got several of them.
And what I don't know is where this piece of wood came from that we had. I mean, you know, good size trunk. What we have are just the hedge things. So
except that one out there. Remember when we were with the Grateful Sunites and they were visiting us?
Yeah.
And they found the big ball?
I think that was hanging from the hedge kind of thing.
I think it was a big tree.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, they do grow bigger. And I did a little bit of learning about how to recognize them and how they're used for making bows.
Oh, the wood is.
Yeah.
Well, and we had a suggestion that somebody's mother, I think, our grandmother had cut up the osage balls and put them around her house to eliminate spiders. She said she tried it herself. She still had spiders, and she had spoiled Osage oranges. We had the most wonderful comments.
Yeah.
It was so great. So we just want to tell you a little bit about our temporary. So let me go back to Germany.
Okay.
We lived in Germany for 4 years, and there's a big solid door on every compartment.
Every room.
Of the room, because you only heat the rooms that you're in.
At least in the house we lived in.
Yeah. Well, we lived in 2 different houses that had
Both of them were that way.
And visited other people. Our problem here, not a problem, we love it. You know the open floor plan. We have this very large room here and with a big opening to the other side, which is a very large room with a kitchen dining room.
When it comes to heating, like we're having to heat, a large room is a challenge.
Correct.
So kind of a trade-off there that we have to figure out.
So we've made some little decisions. So he's holding a tiny little heater. This is
250 watts.
250 watts and
cheap, very inexpensive.
Very. and it's going down into, one of them is sitting in the crawl space.
By where the majority,
where we have it all cleaned out.
Where the majority of the plumbing is.
The plumbing that we did with the Holler family when they were here. And we're putting that down there. The other one is going in the well house. Now we've had heaters in both of those, but they've been bigger heaters.
Because that's what we had.
Yeah. So now the smaller heater that we have that was in the crawl space is going to go permanently in the bathroom. The other one, which is a little bit bigger, is going in our office. Then we have the radiant heater that's just, you know,
the oil.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like that. We have an older one that we got at an auction for $2. That's in our bedroom. It does amazing. And then we got this one to put in the kitchen area for now.
So we figure, you know, the kitchen area and our big living room area where the fireplace is are connected, large doorway between them. So a lot of airflow between them. Not all that much outside wall space. Most of it's side walls.
Oh.
Sorry.
But
between the fireplace here and that heater in there, we figure it's going to help it a lot. So.
Long term.
One other thing that we don't have a specific solution for in the way of heaters, because we're going to do some other things, is where the water comes into the house. At some point between the well house, where it's like 1.5 inch pipe coming out of the well, and the house, it changes to 3/8 inch copper. Which multiple problems there. So
we were gonna get it changed before it got cold, and it got cold before we got it changed.
Well, yeah. You know, when things are working okay, it's hard to get them to the top of the list, and that's kind of what went on there. I mean, we started at one point and got off onto other things, and it's just been more important things that were there that had to be done now.
But now that's going to be really important.
We are going to get some insulation to wrap around it where it is closest to the outside wall there. That will help it some, at least. And the challenge is that it doesn't just come in to the sinks, it's coming in under the cupboards. So it's enclosed. We really can't get into it at all without dismantling the cupboards. So
we're dismantling the cupboards.
You know, that's been the biggest challenge here, is that what should be a relatively straightforward and simple job is typically not straightforward and simple. It's very complex. Many things have to be taken apart, and it becomes time consuming. It becomes challenging on how to do it without destroying something. How far do we have to dismantle it in order to be able to fix it? And
so I'd just like to issue,
it's got to be way taken apart.
I would just like to issue an invitation to Ben and Meg Holler to come back and help us do the rest of the plumbing.
You know what happened, in addition to them being here, is that it caused me to kind of set other things aside that were really, there was a price to pay for setting those things aside. And we typically can't do that. But with them here and being able to get so much done,
you didn't really work hardly at all while they were here. One day I think you worked. But that's okay. He did fine. So everyone, the majority of people said get a wood stove. That a wood stove puts out the best heat.
If the comments, if we took them to be votes on what to do, wood stove
wins.
Won.
So what we want to know now is like a little potbelly stove.
Let's just say this. It confirmed for us what we have felt. Some of the other solutions we didn't have a lot of experience with, and so we were concerned. And they are complex, and some of them are very expensive. Theoretically, they should be fantastic, but what we're hearing is that often that's not the case. They're expensive and ineffective.
We would love to make a rocket mass heater. We know that they're pretty ugly, and we know that they're really time consuming to make, and we don't know how to make them, but we still want to make one.
If left up to me, and with enough time and access to all the right materials,
Well, that's out.
it's something that I would like to do for several reasons. One, it becomes something that we can fully understand and be able to maintain. The beauty from what I'm reading is that you don't need large pieces of wood. You can actually use smaller branches and limbs, which from the standpoint of a sustainable forest from what we have here, if instead of chopping down an entire tree and turning that into firewood, we take the branches, let them get sufficiently dry, and then we can use those. Just
For
because
sure.
the sheer quantity, it becomes a lot more sustainable for us.
Paul Wheaton says that you use 1/10 of the wood.
Now, if that's true, and if we can harvest wood in that way, then it definitely be, not to say we can't use wood from larger pieces where we, split it down to where it's smaller. We definitely can do that. But the point is, when it comes down to sustainability, being able to regrow, small limbs and branches is a lot quicker than regrowing an entire tree.
So is there a way to make this fireplace into a rocket mass heater?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
but I still get to hang my stockings by the chimney with care.
There you go. There you go. I say no, there probably is, but...
If you know of a way, let us know.
Well, it would be fairly extensive what you'd have to do on the inside.
Yeah. So either over there in that far corner or in the kitchen. I've even toyed with getting, like Doug and Stacy have the stove that they cook on, something like that. Or, so if you
then she priced them.
If you have a wood stove...
They're more expensive than if you bought a normal range.
Oh, for sure. By 3 or 4 times. So let us know what kind of wood stove you have that works well. The dimensions of it, how much wood it takes, what room size it's in. You guys are helping us so much.
Probably of value is the largest room that we need to heat. It's like, no, it's this one. This one's this one's longer, and it's about as wide, if not a little wider.
Right.
So what dimensions are we talking about?
Well,
what would you've measured it?
This is probably almost 30, isn't it? I bet it is. 30 long by...
Well, it's 20 something for 20? Sure. And it's
30 by 20?
It's like...
By 18? 16? Something like that.
I was going for 12 to 14.
Were you?
Yeah.
Hold on.
She's going to measure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, he's so right so much of the time. You want me to do the length?
I'm thinking 20 something.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so our room is 13 by 21. I'm not.
Now we know. Anyway, that's the size that we're looking at, and obviously, yeah, we need to cover the windows with plastic.
Yep.
There's some things we need to do up in the attic. The airflow is the real big deal, and there are some from the crawl space, some airflow issues that we need.
I just have to say that we're not as bad off as one of our viewers. They have a really, really old house, and their heating system was in the attic. And so the rest, how heat rises? Well, it was up there, and they were down there.
That's an interesting design feature.
Terrible!
Wow. I'm sure there was a reason for that.
We know that when we get all of the new windows, and we get all the floor and all the air closed up, and it's going to be great. It'll be a couple of years in making, and that's okay. So, we thank you.
In the meantime.
we thank you. And Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time, we will have a live.
Yes.
So, thanks everyone. And we so appreciate your comments. I haven't even got to all of them. I've got to go get to all
She's
of them.
a little bit overwhelmed.
I started.
She's
I
enjoying
started
it.
in bed reading them out loud this morning. Then we were reading them in the car, and now we've got more.
Yep.
Thank you for solving our problems, or helping us anyway.
Yeah, giving us food for thought.
All right. Bye.
Bye.